Guys, welcome back to Precision Rifle Network. Today is all about the Sig P365 X Macro compared to the XL and the original P365. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so I started out with the P365 when it first came out. And this little gun was the first gun that made me switch away from a Glock 19. I've been carrying a Glock 19 forever, like a long time. 15 years, 20 years, something like that. Started with the Glock 17 back in my police academy, went to the Glock 19 for concealed carry. It works all the time, it fits me well, it shoots great. I never looked back until this little guy came out. And then all of a sudden, I was like, dang, you know, I can get 10 rounds roughly. I can get a good grip on this thing. I can get all my fingers on, because typically with subcompact guns, you can't get your little pinky on there if you have anything but petite hands. And it shot very well. The trigger was great. It just concealed well. I had been carrying this for quite a while, right? It's a great little pistol. I've had no malfunctions with it. No issues to speak of. So I'm a little bit of a Sig fanboy now when it comes to these in particular. Then, when the P365 XL came out with a little bit of different stippling on here, and this was a custom shop version, so it's got the porting up here, it's got the improved trigger, the nitrided colored barrel and trigger and all that kind of stuff. And the grip itself was slightly longer, you know, allowing you to carry the same basic rounds. I think it was 12 instead of 10. Clear, obviously, guys. And I was able to mount a little red dot up on here, the Holosun 507. And I switched to this, and I've been carrying this ever since that, just because it had a little bit less muzzle flip to it, roughly 30%. I've got a video on the channel where I tested that actual muzzle flip. It's noticeable, and the trigger is noticeably better. So now, enter in the 365 X Macro. Now we're getting into a gun that is slimmer, narrower, slightly smaller grip than a Glock 19. Overall dimensions, slightly less in every category than a Glock 19. Still carries 15 to 17 rounds, depending on the mag you use. The grip itself gives you a full grip, and you've got the ability to add a red dot, and you've got the ability to now add a weapon-mounted light. I'll give you some close-up shots of all this, but just a little bit thicker on the bottom end because of that Picatinny rail, but you get that full-size purchase. You get the extra rounds, so you get 15 instead of 12, one in the pipe, 16, you know, or 17 or whatever you can get extended mag, whatever. You can get all the different kits to extend the magazines. So I have a little drill that I like to do with a new pistol, and that is I put about 200 rounds through a pistol just as quickly as I can fire them off and go back and reload mags and fire them off again. And in the first 200 rounds, if it malfunctions at all because of the gun's fault and not my fault, then this gun's going away. So I've got about 60 to 90 rounds through this thing already. No issues. While I'm making the video today, I'm going to be shooting it. You guys will get to see if it malfunctions and passes my test. But so far, it's functioning well and it's shooting well. I've got a target at 15 yards behind me. I did my initial, 2 mags of 15, so 30 rounds total down there on that piece of paper at 10 yards, and kept them all inside of, say, my hand. I think it could be tighter, but again, I'm standing offhand. It's windy. Excuses. I've got a tripod back here I'm going to be bracing the pistol off of so that we can minimize some of that movement, so we can kind of see real accuracy with your standard 115 grain 9mm. And then I brought some more defensive rounds that we will also put through it, see if the group tightens up at all. That's what we're doing, just comparing, contrasting, mainly just running the P365 X Macro to see what it'll do. Roughly 200 rounds through the new Sig P365 X Macro, not new to the market, but new to me. I went and I put 15 rounds up here with iron sights. We adjusted our red dot, got a little shot right there, and then we came down here and put 15 rounds with the red dot right in here into this little group. And then from shots, 60 all the way to 200, I fired at this spot at 10 yards, standing offhand, drawing, firing, rapid fire as you saw in the video, and you can see the group results there. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna shoot at the top dot up there. We're gonna brace off of the bag so we can minimize movement, hopefully take me out of the equation as much as possible. I'm still gonna be just using the iron sights here, co-witnessing through the red dot. We have not zeroed the dot yet. Then we're gonna zero the dot up and put another group in the exact same way, but using the red dot, and just see the difference between iron sights and the red dot. Okay, I think that might have only been 14 shots actually, but regardless, let's go take a look at that group. All right, guys, so again, iron sights only right here, bracing off the bag, 10 yards. That was our group right there. So I do have something to say about the way that co-witnesses through there. It's not super precise because you actually end up using the little cutout that's on the Vortex optic itself rather than the actual rear sight on the pistol, which I think would be a little more precise. But this isn't bad at all either. So now we're going to take some time to tune in that red dot, which I will probably just get done off of camera, and then we'll come back and we'll put a group down below here with the red dot. All right, you guys, so we've got the dot now adjusted pretty dang close. Somebody putting the dot on the lower target down there. We'll fire 14 shots commensurate with the top one that we did, or 15, whatever happens to be in here at that lower dot. We'll see what we get. I have to leave this finger up here on here. I don't normally do that, but in order to get a good grip and put my hand on the bag here, I'm going to have to, so. All right, clear pistol. Let's go down and take a look. All right, guys, very clear difference between iron sights and red dot. Anybody can benefit from it, but I got to tell you, from an older dude who's like 50 years old, it helps. Iron sights, red dot. Iron sights, red dot. It really is that simple. We've got the Sig P365 X Macro. And if you're familiar with the P365 line at all, we started out with just the standard 365, and then they went to the, I can't even remember all the iterations right now, but I remember the ones that I have. I bought a P365 XL custom shop after this, and it came with, you know, the upgrades that I talked about in the start of the video. You know, cutouts for compensator up front and better trigger and barrel and all that kind of stuff. I'm not seeing anything out of this P365 X Macro in factory configuration, running just factory 115 grain PMC bronze ammo, that has me questioning its ability or its accuracy in any way, shape, or form. The target down there is a pretty nice tight group at 10 yards, supported of course. No issues whatsoever. I am running the Vortex Defender CCW, the 3 MOA, red dot up here on top. Fits perfectly in here with the supplied screws from Vortex. The ones that came on the pistol itself were not quite long enough, so fortunately Vortex includes a plethora of different sizes of screws that will fit just about anything you need. They did offer a little plate inside of here too that you can put on that adds just a little bit of elevation. Like on a rifle, you've got a 20 MOA base that provides just a little bit of angle. That's basically what this little plate does underneath here. It's angled ever so slightly to just help you have a little bit more travel when it comes to adjusting your red dot. Iron sights are still on here. Front sight is co-witnessed through here, through the sight, but you can't really make out the rear sight on the pistol. You actually use a little cutout notch on the Defender CCW itself as your new rear sight with the front sight. So at least you can co-witness through there and get shots off if your red dot happens to run out of batteries or fail or whatever. Good stippling around here. The grip The back grip panels are changeable. They come with 3, the one that's on it, and then 2 other options. The medium or middle grade is the one that came on it, and that one fits my hand the best. Still a good magazine release button there. It's not ambidextrous. I imagine you could turn it around to the other side, but that's a guess. It does offer the Picatinny rail up front, so I will probably be looking for a subcompact weapon light that I can put up front. You got all the rounds that you'd need, right? Like 15 plus 1 in the chamber, so 16 rounds per mag, carry a backup, and you got 32 rounds of pain if you need it. And so, man, it seems to be functioning great. I paired it up with this Safariland inside the waistband holster. Simple little guy, 45 bucks, Kydex. It's got some material inside here. It looks like just kind of some leather inside to make it a little bit quieter and just, to keep the Kydex from scratching up your pistol. And, single clip, I usually like the dual belt clips on there, but this one is perfectly fine. It also has a little adjustment here, so you can adjust the cant angle of how this carries in your waistline. That's pretty nice. Fits well with the cutout for the red dot. And yeah, very simple, very basic. Guys, if you would, take a minute, hit that subscribe button for me. Costs you nothing, helps me out a ton. I'm trying to get up to that mysterious 100,000 mark. Other channels that I've seen have struggled, just like me, gun channels, of course, to get up to 100,000 subscribers. And then once they do, for some reason, it's almost like YouTube's like, okay, they're here to stay, let them go. Most 100,000 subscriber gun channels on YouTube end up at 200,000 subscribers in like less than a year after having slaved away to get up to 100. So do me a favor, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'd love it if you came back, talk about stuff like this. Mostly it's precision rifles, but occasionally we go down the rabbit hole of pistols because I'm a gun guy in general, not just a precision rifle guy. So also in the description below, check out our affiliate links. That also helps the channel. And we have a Patreon page. All those guys get to see the videos first, and they get giveaways, which is kind of a nice benefit if you want to check that out. And beyond that, stay tuned for another great video from Precision Rifle Network.